Welcome to COMANDOLIN. Today taking a look at a true classic, Hallelujah, from Leonard Cohen, 1984. It's been covered by just countless people over the decades. And man, sure translates great into the 8-stringer. There's no hard chords or fast runs or anything. And it's just a must, right, for the musical jukebox. Got to have this one at the ready. Hey, before we get started, be sure to subscribe down below. COMANDOLIN do lessons and tutorials and things. There'll be links for the merch, if you're interested, and the Facebook page, and the Patreon page. Over on the Patreon page, there will be full tabs for this and a breakdown with the tabs and the little thing where it plays along with it and stuff. Oh, and one last thing. Hey, let me know where you're watching from in the world so I can put a pin up on my map for you. But hey, having done the commercial, let's just jump right in here. This is a great one to learn. Leonard Cohen, Hallelujah. All right, so let's check it out here. It's in G, and it's in 6/8 time, which means it's got a really heavy waltz feel. And we're going to look at both the verse melody and the chorus melody in two different places on the neck, like a low and a high, because it's kind of a repetitive song once it gets going, and it's nice to know in a couple places on the neck so you can kind of mix and match as you go along. So let's check it out. It starts G major to E minor. What we're doing here is 2nd fret of the A, and plant that finger there because it doesn't move for a while. So pickup note there by itself. Up to it's a 1-finger G chord, third finger, but the 5th fret of the A string with open notes below it. And we want 3 beats here. What usually I'll do is hit it twice. And then there's this little run here. It's just a 5, 2, 5. So there's a lot of back and forth here. So it's this. And we're going to move up to an E minor chord. This doesn't move yet. We're just moving up to the 5th fret on the D string, 4 on the G, and you're already on the 2nd here. And then open E note. Very important there. So we need 3 beats of this. And what I often find myself doing is I'll hit 2 downstrokes and then 1 upstroke on the high E. You could just hit the chord once and the open E twice. I find myself, it just kind of naturally comes to me as I do this. So twice there, and then let's pretend the words are coming in. We're going to follow along here and drop our melody down. Starting here, 4th fret of the G, and we're going to go to a G chord again. Really just another 1-finger, 2nd fret of the A string like we were, and the bottom 2 strings, but really emphasizing the open D because that's our melody. 3 beats of that. 1 hit back up to the 4, open D, and now 3 beats of E minor. And we're not even going to worry about the top string because we're not hitting that. Really, it's just going to be open G and the middle 2 strings in the 2nd fret. And again, the melody note is the E here, so emphasize that if you can. See, very little movement really involved here. You just fingers here on the 2nd by itself, and then the 2nd time it can just hit the middle, both the middle 2 seconds. Whoops. So twice of that, and then you're practically on it right now. It's going to move up to a C major chord, which is open 2 and 3. But again, the melody staying down here in the D string. So off the C chord, we're going to hit again that note. Now we're going to move down to a 1-finger D chord, which is literally right here. And, you know, second fret there, open D, and you can even pick up a little of the A string, wouldn't hurt anything. Definitely don't hit anything up here. So, twice there, once on the 4th fret, and then back 2 beats of our G chord, you know, open, open, and 1. There's a lot of 1-finger chords here, which makes this is real easy. Okay, just looking at that part one more time before we move on here. Now from here, we're going to go back to our 1-finger D chord, 2nd fret on the G. And this time we're going to make sure we hit all 3 we're going to of the bottom 3 strings. And we're going to sing into a little pattern that's about to become real prevalent here. We're going to hit down twice. And then pick each note up on the way back. And again, nothing's happening down here, just 2nd fret on the G string. And open A, open D. So just tagging that to the end here. All right, now it moves back into this is where the stuff really starts happening. Got 1 beat on the 4 again. 2 times on that G chord. 4 open, but now we're going to go, we're going to move from the C up to a D, which is 2nd fret, 4th fret, and 5th fret. So now we're going to move to an E minor chord, the same one we did before. We're middle 2 on the 2nd fret, 3rd fret of the E. And now we're going to do this, start to sink into this pattern a lot more. 2 times down, and then up pick each note in the top 3 strings. So. Now here's a C major chord where all we're going to do is, it's going to be 2nd and then 3rd on the top 2 strings. All you did was move from here and pick up that note. But same chord, or same pattern, down 2, and then up on each one. So now take that shape we're on, which is 2, 3, and 3, scooch it up here so it's 4, 5, and 5. Nothing really happened, you just came up a couple frets and do the same. So once again, E minor, C major, up there where it's a D major, and now to our fun B7 chord, which is 7th fret on the D, 6 on the A, and 7th fret on the high E string there. Usually I hit it twice, down, and pick up that last note on an upbeat, because again, everything is in groups of 3 almost. Alright, so from there, what I'll generally do is move down here and get 1 note by itself of that on the A note, 5th fret of the E string, but then keeping the finger there, I'll play. See what's going to happen is I'm getting ready to come down to this E minor chord, right? That's the 2 strings in the middle and the 3rd fret. So I'll put that E minor chord there. Just kind of set it below this 5th fret so that I can just lift the 5th fret off it and be right into it. So you're kind of anticipating. You're anticipating that chord change. And it builds a nice little tension and resolves. Just in case I over-explain that. we're just ending up on that E minor chord there that we like. So one more time through that whole bit, before we move on. Whoops. All right, so great. Now we're moving into the chorus, and we can do it one of two ways, but the first time through, let's do it down here. What we're going to do, start here, we get a lot of mileage out of this little phrase, right? 4th fret of the G, open D, and now we're going to move into our C chord, but we're just doing these bottom 3 strings because this is going to be the low version. And again, our melody note is the E here, 2nd fret. Now walking down, 2, open, and we're coming back down to this formation of the E minor. 4th here, 5th there, and 2nd here, but you're not even really playing that 2nd. Mostly, it's those bottom 2 notes. If you graze the 2nd, that's fine, huh? Back up, 4, open, C twice there, 2, open. Now we come back to the same chord, although believe it or not, now it's serving as a G major, but still 4 and 5 and 2. Down to our 1 finger D, which is 2 here, and then all the other 3 strings, or not 3, but the middle 2 strings open. Actually, now it repeats, right? It comes into that after 1 beat. It comes up and does it again. And then the second time, it follows all the way down and resolves to that G chord. All right, so generally coming out of there is where we'll go back into the verse melody, but here we're going to do it up an octave, like we mentioned we were going to before. And basically we're playing the exact opening of the song, where it was 2nd fret here, 3 beats, an E minor, where it was 2 down, and that one up, just like we started with. So twice of that. One beat of this D note here, 5th fret of the A string, and 2 beats of a big C chord. Now we've been doing C chords all along, but before we were just doing the bottom 3 strings. Now we're going to do all of them, and really emphasizing that top E. Before, that was our melody note, but now we're up here. Now we're going to move into our D. A different D, kind of like we did before. 2nd fret here, 4th on the D string, 5th on the A with your pinky, and for 1 beat, you're going to hit all the notes, making sure to pick up this E. And now come down to the 5th fret of the A, basically the note your pinky's holding down. Hit that twice. To the 2nd fret of the A twice, or once, I mean. To this G chord twice, 5 on the A, open, open. So let me put that together here. And now we'll do that little D chord again, kind of settles in there for 1 beat, and this pattern like before, 2 down, and then pick the 3 up. going to start back on our 2nd fret. Just like before. Now, we're climbing. It's going to be again the C chord, but we're emphasizing that high E. This kind of D chord, 2nd fret on the G, 2 middle strings, and now really emphasizing the E string on the D chord, which you've been avoiding this whole time. Make sure we hit that and move up into the E minor. So what you get is the melody walks up that E string. Just like before, same chords, but now we're just emphasizing different strings. And again, now once we get here, it kind of settles into the same thing. Once we're on the E minor chord, we can settle back into this. 2 down, pick each one up, just like before. Just add that note there. Scooch it up to here. Just like before, because that part's the same. But now, if we want to do the chorus. So again, 2, 5, and now C chord, just like before, but really emphasizing our top E note. Walk down, open E, 5 here, and this E minor where that stayed put, 5 and 4. And again, making sure that E rings out. Back up, 2, 5, C chord, walking down, open, 5, and now this kind of G chord, the most basic one you learn on day 1, 2 and 3, all the strings, down to the D chord, just open D, 2, open here for 1 beat, and just like before, repeat. Repeat. G, D. Now, you can repeat that as often as you want, actually, because I think the song, once it settles in, it really, that chorus over and over. Do better than that. And once you're ready to end it, you come down G, D, and G. All right, I know it's kind of a long lesson because it takes me a bit to explain each and every note. This is not really very complicated. A lot of 1-finger and 2-finger chords here. And a lot of great stuff going on. Super, super great song to have, again, in the musical jukebox. And all right, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.